Have.
Well, I mean, since morning we've been looking at the voter turnout, and for us that is very important because that will determine the direction of where this election or this, by-election will go. Because whatever happens today is going to be a tiebreaker in terms of who rules Akwatia. Both political parties have won it for each in the last 8, election, and this election will be that tiebreaker. And what we're expecting is that, well, because of what is happening across the length and breadth of the country, if you look at the turnouts, that's about 69.7%, and we're expecting over 36,000 people to go out there and vote. And I have been looking at the numbers, trying to understand Akwatia itself. And in the morning, we showed you the demography of the Dentrebo, district, which Akwatia is the capital, town. And in fact, if you look at that area, if you select 7 out of 10 voters, the likelihood that 7 out of 10 will be Akans is very, very high, because you have about 65.6% of them being Akans. You saw the demography also there, and other, ethnic groups. And so it's not one that is, definitely dominated by Akans, but it's a cocktail of, other ethnic groups. But in fact, this over 36,000 registered voters that we are expecting, it is interesting to note that the entire, Akwatia as a district, or Denchembo as a district, has about, if you look at it, population about 34% being between the ages of 18 and 35 years, youth. And the reason why that is important is that this is the age group that it is so difficult to convince them to go out there and vote. I mean, somebody can make a decision that they will go and vote. A simple call or a game or anything can actually change that person's mind. And so propensity to vote in this by-election is very, very important. And let's look at the top 10 that we were trying to, go through in the morning to tell us, even before that, if I remember, we told a story about the by-elections that we've had so far. This will be our 34th by-election. And in terms of the probability of winning by-elections, just by going according to this data, holding all other factors constant, the NPP is slightly ahead with 52% probability, NDC being around 45%, and independent candidates also in there. And so if you look at the areas that we are going to go through in terms of, the top 10 polling stations with very, very high numbers, and that's what we are going to do for you to actually understand. But even breaking down that 33 by-elections we've had so far, in the morning we showed you this picture without this composite bar chart. Let's look at incumbency. Does it have any form of influence on by-elections? You can see from the first parliament to the 8th parliament, this is a very beautiful composite bar chart where even in the 3rd parliament, there were 7 by-elections. NPP was in power. They won all 7 by-elections, right? And in the areas that they happened, it's also very important, or regions very important. The first parliament had 4 by-election. NDC was in power, won 3 of them, left 1 for an independent candidate to also win. Second parliament, 2 by-election, got split among the 2 big parties. NPP won, NDC won. Then comes the 3rd parliament, which is the outlier in this whole equation. 7 by-elections with the NPP winning everything. Then the 4th parliament, where NDC or NPP was in power again, where we had 6 by-elections, got split between the 2 political parties. 3 for NPP, 3 for NDC. 5th parliament, 3 by-elections. You can see the distribution there. And then also the 6th parliament also having that same, in terms of the distribution and all of that. And so if you look at this on the whole, by-elections are gradually becoming a thing in our democracy, where almost there has never been any parliament, lifespan that we've not had by-election. And unfortunately, a significant component of them have come from the demise of certain members of parliament, which is another conversation that we need to have.